Welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make the Star Spangled Towel Topper. In my previous video I showed you the Canadian towel topper. I hope you guys liked it. Today I'm going to be showing you the American version. Super simple. This one's a lot quicker and easier. So if you're just getting started, it's a perfect project to start off with Tunisian crochet. So today you are going to be needing 2 wooden rings. Right now I just have one, so I'm going to show you one side, but you pretty much do the same thing on the other side. And I am using Paintbox yarns, cotton yarn, and royal blue, and big Twist Twinkle yarn, and this beautiful red, and comfy worsted in this white from We Crochet Official. I'm going to link to everything in the description. So today I'm using my Furls Odyssey hook in the red and gold. They don't have the gold anymore. They do have Odyssey hooks with the nickel. I'm using size I 5.5 mm, and then a yarn needle, a pair of scissors, and I already told you what yarn I'm using, and then 2 wooden hooks. I'm using size 70 mm wooden hook, wooden circles. You can use something a little bit bigger too. These are a little bit on the smaller side, so yeah, that's all you're gonna need. Now let's get started. So to get started, we are going to single crochet, and you can find the written instructions for this pattern over on my blog. I will link to the blog post as well. So what we're going to do is we are going to make a slip knot first and get it onto our hook, and then we are going to single crochet around. First, let's attach the yarn to the wooden ring, and then we are going to be doing some loose single crochet. So I'm going to do 7 single crochet around. So basically go in, and we are going to pick up the yarn and then just do our single crochet around. Okay, and then we're going to do six more like that. So I did 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, and then we're gonna just turn our work, and then we're gonna go into, you can see the V's that have formed on the top here, so we're just gonna go through and pick up a loop under those, and those are gonna be our Tunisian crochet stitches we're going to work through. So we're just going in, picking up a loop. So there's 4, 5, 6. The last one's a little hard, so just gotta get in there, and 7. All right, and I made this purposely with my Odyssey hook because I want you to be able to complete this with all the materials you have at home. So then what we're gonna do is we're gonna work our return pass, just chain 1, and then we're just gonna pull through 2 loops all the way across like that. Okay, once you get through the first row, it's much easier. Okay, so we've gotten this, and then in the next row we're going to increase, and I have separate tutorials for how to increase and decrease in Tunisian crochet. So you're just going to go through your next stitch and work into the back, and this is a knit stitch, and then we're going to go through the same stitch and do a simple stitch, and then we're going to work simple stitch across. So 2, 3, and then when we have 2 stitches remaining, we are going to work a simple stitch into the stitch, the second last stitch, and then we are going to work a knit stitch into that same stitch, and that's how we increase. I have a separate tutorial for another way to increase if you want to check it out. I will link it here. Then you just work your last stitch as normal, and then we are going to do a return pass. So now we have 9 stitches. We're going to do the same thing one more time to get a total of 11 stitches, right? So again, we're going to go into the next stitch, do a knit, and then a simple stitch into that same stitch, and then we're just going to work simple stitch across until we get to the second last stitch. So right, 3 more stitches here. All right, so the next stitch, we're at the second last stitch here. We're going to do a simple and then do a knit stitch into that same stitch, and then work our last stitch as normal. Then we're just going to do a normal return pass here. Right. Okay, now we are going to work 3 we're going to work 3 rows of simple stitch, or 2 more rows of just simple stitch across. So let's go through, just pick up a loop all the way across. So we're going to work simple stitch all the way across, and then I'm going to do simple stitch all the way across, work into our last stitch as normal, and then do a return pass. And we're going to do 1 more row. And we're going to do 1 more row like that, so just simple stitch all the way across. And the return pass. So on this row, when we are on a return pass, when we have 2 stitches remaining on our hook like this, we are going to join our next color that we're working with, which is the red. And I have a separate tutorial again for how to join yarn, join a new color and do color work, so you can check that out. I'll link it above. You can click the eye, and then we are just going to work simple stitch across for 2 rows. And again, at the end of the second row, when we're doing our return pass, we are going to, once we have 2 loops remaining, we are going to attach our next color. So we're just doing a return pass here, and then again, just pick up simple stitches all the way across. We're doing simple Tunisian simple stitch, super easy. Pause. And now we have 2 stitches remaining again. So now we are going to add our white. So just take our white and twist it around the back like that, and then pick it up, and we are gonna pull through 2. So now we have All right, and then we're just gonna pick up a loop all the way across. We're doing Tunisian simple stitch again for 2 rows, and then again at the end of the return pass we are going to change colors. So again, we work the first row, and then we're gonna do 1 more row of Tunisian simple stitch, but remember with your return pass we're going to change colors. So this is our second row here. All the way across until we have 2 loops remaining again. So again, we are going to, so I'm just going to carry a float in the back like this. You can choose to cut and rejoin, but I don't think it's necessary. And then we're just going to change to the red again, and then remember to pull tight in the back. And then we're going to continue doing this for, we're going to do it 2 more times, and then continue with the rest of the color work. So this is what it looks like the entire piece looks like when you, so there's a big section of red coming up, but first we're going to do 2 more rows. So I'm just going to do simple. I'm going to go a little faster now, so just do simple all the way across. I'm going to work last stitch as normal. So one more row here, and then all right. Okay, and now we have 2 loops remaining. So again, we're going to pick up our white. Remember to twist it in the back and then just pull through 2. And then you're going to work 2 more rows of the white. And then our big section of red is coming up after this, these 2 rows of white. So just return pass. Okay, and then 1 more row of the white. All the way across. And then we're going to change back to the red, and now we are going to work a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rows of the red. So I'll meet you back after I've completed these 9 rows. And remember, in the 9th row in the return pass, we are going to change colors again to the white. So remember to not work those last 2 stitches until you pick up the white. I just carried floats throughout, but you feel free to cut the yarn and rejoin if you don't want a big, you know, big floats on the back like this. For me, I didn't mind, so maybe the blue you'd want to rejoin, but okay, I'm gonna meet you back once I've completed the 9 rows and I have 2 loops remaining. All right, so now we are back. We have, I completed 9 rows and I did my return pass, and I have 2 loops on my hook, so I'm gonna twist around the back. I'm gonna twist around the back like this, and then pick up my white again, and then here we are gonna work 2 rows of white. We're gonna do the same thing we did on the other side. 2 rows of white, 2 rows of red, 2 rows of white, and then 2 rows of red. So I'm gonna go a little quickly here because I showed you how to do it earlier. So we're just doing our normal Tunisian simple stitch across, 2 rows of the white, and then work the last stitch as normal, and then again we do our normal return pass here. Oops, I skipped a stitch. Okay, so simple, simple. Make sure that you have 11 stitches throughout because that's what we're working with. And then we are going to do one more. I'm gonna do one more row of the white. So okay. So there we go. And then normal return pass here. Then remember that when you have 2 loops remaining, we're going to switch back to the red. Oops, I went through both here. All right, so now we have 2 loops remaining. We're going to pick up our red, twist it around the back like so, and then pick up this. All right, and then we're gonna work 2 rows of red. So this is our first row. Normal return pass all the way across. Oops. So one more of the red. Okay. Okay. Return pass again. When we have 2 loops remaining, we are going to switch back to the white. And then we're going to work 2 more rows of the white all the way across. Okay, so then we're going to do one more row here, and then again we are going to switch colors on the return pass, the end of the return pass. Alright, so we are going to pick up red one more time, and at this point, if you'd like, you can cut your white yarn because we're done working with it. So I'm just going to leave a 6-inch tail and cut the yarn, and then we are going to continue with our red. I'm going to do 2 more rows of the red. So simple stitch all the way across. Gonna do oops. Right, and then one more row. All the way across. And then we just return pass all the way across. And now when we have 2 remaining, we are going to pick up our blue. If you want, you don't have to carry the whole float, and you can just cut in the middle, and then maybe I'll do that this time. I'm gonna cut, oops, I'm gonna cut leaving 6-inch tail here, and then just rejoin it so there isn't that huge float. So again, I'm gonna twist and pick up the, oops, okay, we're gonna twist around and then pick up our blue and then pull tight in the back here. So now we have our blue, and at this point, if you would like, you can cut the red yarn as well because we are done working with it. Oops, just to make sure that it's tight in the back here. I'm just leaving a 6-inch tail. We're gonna cut our yarn, and so now we are just working with our blue. All right, so we are gonna do 1 row of just simple stitch across with our blue. So we're just going across here, doing our blue. Sometimes it's hard going into this last stitch. Make sure you go under both loops. And there we go. And then we're just gonna work our normal return pass here. Okay, we're gonna do a 2nd row here of just simple stitch across. Right. Then return pass. Okay, and then now we are gonna do a decrease. for the next 2 rows to get back to our 7 stitches. So the way we do a decrease is we're going to pick up a loop into the next 2 vertical bars, and there's your decrease. Then we're going to do simple stitch across until we get to the last 3 stitches. So we're at the last 3 stitches. Again, pick up a loop into the next 2 stitches, and then work your last stitch as normal. Do a normal return pass, and then again we are going to do a decrease, so work a stitch into the next 2 stitches, and then simple stitch across until you get to the last 3 stitches, and then pull up a loop. There's your other decrease, and then work last stitch as normal, and then return pass, and there's your return pass, and then we are going to work one more row of just simple stitch across, do our normal return pass here, and then we are going to, since I don't have another separate wooden ring, I'm going to show you on this wooden ring how I would attach. So basically you're going to go through your vertical bar and pick up a loop and do single crochet. We're going to go into the next vertical bar, pick up a loop, and just single crochet onto the loop. I'm going to continue doing that until we have completely joined the piece onto our wooden ring. We're just literally doing single crochets around the wooden ring. So again, last one, there you go, and that's it. That is how you attach it. And then we're just going to leave a long tail, cut the yarn, and weave in the ends. But if you want to add so basically how you add the stars is, I'm going to show you how to do a cross stitch. I'm going to take just a little bit of my white just to show you how to do it. You can add them however you'd like. You don't have to do it exactly in the spots that I added the stars, but basically you're just going to take a double-stranded piece of white yarn. Alright, so I have a double-stranded piece of my white yarn. I'm going to take my yarn needle and just, weave it on through, and then I'm going to show you how I'll do it on here. So basically you're just going to take your yarn needle and poke it through one of the holes here. I have a separate tutorial for how to do cross stitch, but I'm just showing you the first one here. So you're going to pull it up from the back to the front, and then we're going to go, you see the vertical bar here, we're going to go into the upper right corner. You'll see this other hole here. You're going to go through that, and then I'm just going to latch it on in the back like this by going through the loop. So now it's on, and then we're going to go through the hole that's on the right side, come back through, and then go through this hole that's here on the bottom left. So I'll show you again. That's my first cross stitch. Sometimes the yarn gets twisted, but that's okay. Alright, so that's my first cross stitch, and I'm going to show you again into the next one over. I'm going to leave 2 vertical bars and then go into this next one here. So basically again, pulling through from the back to the front, going into the hole here at the bottom left. So you could do it either way. You could start from left to right or right to left. So this time I'm doing it right to left, pulling it down through the left hole here, and then we're gonna go to the top left and cross over like this and go into the hole that's on the bottom right. And that's it. That's how you do the little cross stitches. So we could add the stars that way. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and then just remember to weave in your ends. And it's this cute little towel topper. And please let me know if you have any questions, and make sure you tag me if you make it. Calling it the Star Spangled Towel Topper, and leave any comments, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and I hope you enjoy the tutorial. Thanks for watching.